So 561 Music now has a hotline. You can call us anytime at 561-203-9122 and ask us any questions you like. Some humorous ones or something about the guests we've had on the show, or questions about gear, or questions about the festival, or anything you like. It's, of course, 561-203-9122. We would love to hear from you. We did a pretty fun little message, so you get to hear that too. Even if you just call up to listen to me and Hector trying to do a good phone message, that's a good enough reason. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch.
Take me by the scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you, sir?
Exhausted.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. My voice only just came back. Like, yesterday I could barely speak.
This weekend it was ridiculous.
As my friend Zach used to say, I could barely squeak into a mouse yesterday. But, I seem to have got my voice back. But we had a crazy time, didn't we?
It was fun, man. Thursday night, Patty Max. All day Friday, noon to midnight, Patty Max. Saturday, you guys played a grouper.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, Tiki 52. And, every one of those venues was packed and full of people, and it was just a good time.
Absolutely, it was. It's funny, this time of year, it can really sort of skew your understanding of where you're at as a band. Because
for sure.
Because there's so many people in all the venues, and then summer rolls around and it's a bit of a reality check. But we've been having a good time. I mean, that 12 hours is a bit much, wasn't it?
It's a bit much. And then the previous weekend we did, what did we do? We did O'Shea's on Friday, and then we did Irish Fest in Abacoa on Saturday, and then O'Shea's again on Saturday night. So yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of gigs in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, totally. And also, with the stuff that we've been mixing up, like throwing the hurdy-gurdy in there and throwing the mandolin in there, it's been fun, man. I've been missing that side of the band, actually. I love it when we switch instruments. It's not super easy, and there's some teething things with it, but I think once we find our stride with the switching up, it's going to be great.
No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And I think if James and I switch places the way we were doing, where I'm in the middle, it makes it a little easier for me to hand James the bass and do that kind of stuff. So
true. Not to mention that now we have you in the middle, which is a beautiful thing.
I mean, I should be, right?
The towering Cuban.
I should be the center of attention. Right?
Yeah, it's fabulous. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
It makes sense if you think about looking at the stage too.
Yeah, no, it does.
Because James and I are on either side, and then
you guys have the drums too, so you kind of flank the stage then. So
totally. No, it looks rad. It is harder to play the drums. I'm not going to lie, but not to the point where it's impossible.
Just because you can't hear James as well, or
I can't see him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think we'll get into the groove of it. I'm just not used to it. That's all.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man. So, all right. So we have Mike Locke, a.k.a. Captain Octo, and Steve Caputo, a.k.a. Seaman Steve, a.k.a. Pegleg Steve from Octo Gato. How's it going, guys?
We are feeling good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're back.
Ow! We were shipwrecked for over 4.5 years. Now we're back here with 561 Music, playing the festival.
Hells yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
I'm awake now, man.
Yeah.
Like a cup of coffee.
I know. Just ever since you guys have arrived, in an explosion of color and excitement, you really you know how to bring the room up. It's fabulous.
Explosion of something.
So, I guess you guys have got back together then, huh? When did that happen?
When did that happen, Seaman Steve?
Like 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got off that island about 2 months ago.
I think I must have got in there pretty early then, because I don't know if it was you who reached out to me or the other way around, but I think you may just have mentioned in passing that you were getting back together, and then it occurred to me, oh my God, we got to get you guys on the festival and everything.
Look, I'm not going to lie. Ben calls me up like a 5-year-old kid, on Christmas that just saw Santa Claus, and he goes, holy crap, you're not going to believe this. Octo Gato's getting back together. They have to play the festival. I love these guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I was a bit like that. But it's because back in the day with No Name Scar Band and stuff, we used to play with you guys, and it was always such a delight, you know? It was always so much fun.
Oh, we had a good time with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did the band originally form? Like, what's the story of Octo Gato?
We got a bunch of people in the room, and all of a sudden, there it was. Just like that. Seriously, it was just like that.
Oh, wow,
It
cool.
was somebody playing guitar, and what happened was basically, I'm a guitar player as well, too, as you know.
Yeah.
As you know, play guitar. we got the first group together, and we had 3 guitar players in the room.
Yeah.
So we're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess I'll grab the microphone.
There you go.
And the way it sounds is the way it came out.
Oh, fabulous. When was that? How long ago?
2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a minute then.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Octo Gato's been gracing the high seas of South Florida for a minute here.
High seas, yeah.
So, how did you find yourself getting into music then, Mike?
Me personally,
Yeah.
so I started playing guitar when I was younger.
Were your parents supportive?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I wanted, I got interested in music. Maybe I was, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. All the metal at the time was really inspiring to me, and I just said, I want to be James Hetfield.
Yeah, okay.
So get me a guitar. They got me a Strat. They got me the wrong guitar. They're like, I want to make that. I want it to sound like James Hetfield, like with the Explorer and like, a wall full of Mesa Boogie stacks and Marshall stacks and just I couldn't figure out like how he sounded like that. I've got a Strat with like this little clean amp. I'm like, why doesn't it sound like James Hetfield?
Sure.
Turns out there was a button on there that said distortion. I found that button. The rest is history.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of us were that. And then the first time you tune your E string down to D, and
Oh,
your brain
yeah.
explodes.
Oh, there it is, right? There it is.
Yeah, I remember those days, just sitting in my room playing like double stops over an open D, and just like those
You
were
figure
good
how to
days.
palm mute, make it chunky.
Yeah.
That's it. Game over.
And then I wrote like 3 or 4 stupid sounding drop D songs and thought they were the coolest thing in the world.
One finger, that's all you need, right?
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That's what she said.
There it is. Bringing that old classic back.
We use language on this podcast.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that too risque?
You can say
We're good?
whatever you want,
Say
man.
Whatever
Say
you
whatever
want.
we want. All right, cool.
Yeah. No. So,
We'll
yes,
beep it out later.
Steve, how did you find yourself getting into music? Do you have a musical family, or what's
Yeah,
this?
my dad plays music. Mom does a little bit with piano. But yeah, actually, our drummer, Blackbeard, I played with him. Actually, like one of my like first bands of like getting together. Like they played, and I was like, damn, that's so cool.
Yeah,
And
man.
I played with some other guys, and I was like, damn, I really just want to like kind of just play music and hang out with friends.
Sure.
Dad played music. He kind of like was hanging out with his friends, and I thought it was cool. And yeah, I just thought it was a way to like hang out with your friends and just
Nice.
jam out. It was
It
just
is
fun
that.
making music with your homies.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What were some of your first early influences, would you say?
In the beginning, Korn was definitely one of my favorite
Sure, I get
bands.
that.
Who didn't like Korn, right?
Yeah,
You do that
yeah.
scat thing that Jonathan Davis does for everyone out there on the internet. Now we want to hear it.
Oh man, you think
No,
that was
like-
mean?
No, yeah, Korn, and then going to Warped Tour, I think in 2000.
Yeah,
I went to Warped Tour, so seeing all those bands like Pennywise and all those punk bands, like that was great.
yeah.
So those are like my early influences, and obviously, we all listen to like 80s metal and 80s rock. Like,
Sure.
come on. So, and then like what do you got? The 90s, so grunge. I mean, I kind of grew up to the same stuff. Now in hip hop, I actually produce hip hop too, so I love hip hop.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have a studio, don't you? Dirty Mike Studio.
Yeah, it's down
Yeah.
in Dania. It was in Hollywood for like 14 years or 13 years, and
That's cool. Can you tell me a little bit about that place?
yeah, done some work with like MMG and some other like hip hop artists. It's
Is it like mostly hip hop?
I do a lot of hip hop, but no, it's a full studio, drum set, bass guitars, the whole 9 yards. Always
Cool.
has been, yeah.
Yeah, wicked.
Rehearsal studio. We do some stuff with like kids, where they come in and like kind of almost like what goes on here. Like
Oh, cool.
other kids finding each other to play music, kind of like what we
Wicked.
had. Because let's think about it. Like right now, we live in a time where kids aren't really going out like that, and then after COVID, we still have kind of paranoid parents.
Yeah.
That are like, don't really want you go and hang out with a bunch of people. So it's good to bring kids together like that.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. It's very important. When
Stay
you're
locked
growing
up on your PlayStation 3.
I think even before COVID, like the way the world is with technology and stuff, kids just like they're behind their computer screen or their phone screen or their iPad or whatever it is. They just don't go out like the way they used to. We all used to go out and ride our bikes to our friend's house, and we'd be out, and your parents would be like, "Don't come home until the streetlights come on."
Right.
Now like kids
How about
are like
gaming though? Like even gaming, like you used to be able to go and have 4 controllers or 8 controllers hooked up with your homies.
Yeah.
Now you just put on a headset and you can game with anybody anywhere in the world.
Yeah. It's taken to its natural conclusion. What we were all worried about, we were
Right.
living in these like hermetically sealed little bubbles.
But honestly, live music is probably the best it's ever been right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, awesome.
100%.
I think locally in this 561 area, I don't know if it's because I'm more aware of it with us doing the podcast or what it is, but I agree with that 100%.
No, it's
local,
everywhere.
Our local scene is exploding lately.
Yeah.
What makes you say that? I'm just curious. I'm sure I agree with you, but I'm just curious as to where that comes from.
So, I do work partners with Equinox Booking.
Right.
And then if you look at the other people, you have like Alex Bauman at Respectables, you got John McHale down at Gramps and all that. So you got 561, 305. And we hold down a lot of what's going on in 954 right there in Broward.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, dude, our minimum shows, we have 200 kids showing out to just a
wow,
regular
cool.
show to go watch local bands.
That's amazing.
You know, I'm just saying, when we were playing shows, they were like, a lot of people was 50 people,
Sure.
100 people was great. Couple hundred, holy crap, amazing, and that was rare. So it's more common seeing it everywhere. Respectables. Even seeing people going like the Prop, but it's just seeing people going out and listening to local music.
Yeah.
It's great. And not cover music, not bashing cover bands.
Sure. Originals.
Awesome what they do, great, but no offense, we all heard it. Let's hear some original stuff, some stuff we haven't heard,
No
from
doubt
some
about
people
it.
we don't know.
Yeah.
So, I like it. I love it.
Absolutely.
No, I love that, man.
And I love how enthused by it you are. It's
Yeah,
very-
man.
People going out and discovering new music and discovering new bands, and and I hear it from a lot of people that either they hear somebody on here and they get turned on to a band or whatever, and they go check them out live, or I hear it. My son's a drummer in a local band, and I hear it from him where he goes and. He goes and he plays a show, and he's playing a show with 2 other bands that he's never heard before, and then he comes home and he's like, "Dad, you got to listen to these guys. They're freaking amazing." And
Did you grow up down here?
Yeah.
All right, so growing up down here, I know you did.
Yes.
You know what it was like growing up down here. It was
totally-
great.
yeah.
Our scene was great. We had dog piles growing up
heard
at
all
Club
about
Q.
it,
Yeah.
You.
Club Q, baby.
Yep.
Metal Factory. These places that don't exist anymore.
No, there was a lot of places here. We had talked about that before on another episode with some other people. Like there was a lot of Ray's Downtown Blues, Spanky's
Man,
down in
remember
West
them?
Palm. Yeah, there was a lot of places that you could go and $5 to get you in, $3 to get you in. You'd see an amazing local show, and sometimes it wasn't even local. Sometimes it was like regional and national acts would come through these places.
like Bowling for Soup and people like that, playing
stuff like
Spankies.
that. But then somewhere along the way, it just kind of all started like coming to a screeching halt, and it's just I don't know, but it's just in the last few years, it's been exploding again, and I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, maybe it is because everyone was trapped inside, and then they just kind of,
People
breathe.
want to be around people.
It's
For
the
real.
podcast.
Forever.
We didn't realize what we had in South Florida and all of that. I think people, now that we're able to have it again.
Yeah.
And there's also, I think, the consolidation of venues as well, too, we've seen. And that's why you're seeing bigger shows, I think, because there's less venues, which sucks. But also, we want to pack the venues and, make sure that every one of those shows is an awesome show and that everybody's supporting everybody. There's more of that now, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That
where
is-
it was before.
Yeah, it just makes me feel so happy.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Did you miss the axe? Is that why you're back?
We were stuck on an island.
Yeah, we were stuck on an island.
We were stuck,
4.5 years, man. We were out there.
4.5 years we were stuck. That's why we couldn't wait to be around people.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Octo Gato Island. It's like Gilligan's Island, only
It was us.
only us.
And cats.
And cats.
And cats.
Did you have to eat the
Becker
cats
beach
to
color out
survive?
there. What's that?
Did you have to eat the cats to survive?
No.
Never.
You never eat the cats,
They
man.
brought us food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laid a little bit of a trap there, didn't I? I apologize for that. You and the cats both survived on the mice? Maybe that was...
That was it. We survived
fish.
on seafood.
Seafood.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. Well, it's great to have you back.
Thank
I'm
you.
super chuffed about it. And at the risk of repeating myself, it always was a ray of sunshine when, you know, I'd show up to one of the no-name gigs and I'd see we were playing with you, or I knew we were, and I'd get there. But just because, you know, especially in some of these sort of slightly grimier sort of punk places, it's so nice to have this burst of energy and color, you know. It's just a nice change.
Oh, speaking of a burst of energy and color, man, we didn't get you guys laid.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to do that. Here we go. There we go. Like this. Boom. There we go. Got it? All right. Now it's official.
Now it's official.
By the way, anybody coming to 561 Music Fest is going to get laid just like these two guys.
Oh, man, you heard it here
Get
first,
laid.
guys. You're gonna get laid at 561 Music Fest. So I mean,
Guaranteed.
$10. I mean, what more could you ask for, right?
I know.
That's
exactly.
great too. That's great just to have that many bands that long.
Yeah.
$10. It's just,
Yeah.
especially in a time where everything's going up.
Well, we
like
did
a
it.
Big
Thank
Mac
you.
is more than
Thank you
$10
for that.
bucks.
We did it last year, and you know, and don't thank us, thank the bands. You know, the bands are the ones who cooperate with us to be able to make it happen. You know,
Yeah,
You know,
really.
nobody's coming to us and saying we need $20,000 to play. So you know,
Right.
so it's great.
Oh, about our bill.
But yeah, except you guys. But but you know, we did it last year. We did it $10, 20 bands. Everybody loved it, and we got a lot of compliments on that fact. You know, like, man, I love that this was $10. We got to spend the whole day here. It was great. You know, there was food, there was beer, there was whatever, and so we toyed around with the idea of raising it a little bit this year, just because last year, I mean, it was a little financially draining on us, you know, and so
Yeah.
we thought about raising it a little bit, and we thought, you know what, screw it, $10, that's the way to go. $10, 20 bands, 50 cents a band, you can't go wrong. Like, people just, it's just a good number to have.
There's a good
you
ring
know?
to it. And
There's
I
a
think
good ring to it.
I think
and people appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like giving back.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it worked out. I mean, you know, this year we had a bunch of sponsors that stepped up, and so it took a little bit of the burden of the financial burden off of Ben and I. So that was
Yeah.
good. You know,
50 cents a band, people. Come on.
50 cents a band.
You think we're not worth 50
And you get
cents? Are we not worth 50 cents? We're worth at least 75 cents. Come on out, man.
I mean,
April 1st.
I mean, you're worth 75, but then Killbillies is only worth like what, 28 cents, maybe? I don't know.
I'd
I'm
say-
just-
We'll help each other out.
27.
between the two of us, we might make $1.
So, you guys are very outwardly visual and exciting. When it comes to sort of the social media aspect of the band, who's dealing with that?
I usually handle the social media.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to have to slightly drag you out of character with this boring question, but
What are you talking about? I'm half in, half out of character right now. I don't know what to be.
I mean, was there,
It's like energy levels. It goes up and down. We'll see. We'll see. I'm probably out of
did
character
you have
by the end.
Wi-Fi on the island? I mean, how'd that work
No
for you
Wi-Fi.
guys?
No Wi-Fi.
so yeah, how does that work? Is it an important side of the business with Octo Gato, would you say?
You know, I mean, we were out of it for so long. I mean, you know, we're just getting things going again. You know,
Yeah.
4.5 years ago, last time we played a show, there TikTok wasn't really a thing. You know, now everybody has that app on their phone, right? So
Yeah.
we got to catch up a little bit.
Talking about catching up,
Yeah.
we've been in this and doing it while TikTok has been a thing. I'm still not really very good at it,
Yeah.
if I'm honest with you.
I'm terrible at it.
I think I,
don't
might
have
be
it.
too old. Yeah.
I don't know
That's
why.
it.
I got dance moves. I'll dance on TikTok for you. Sure.
there
Let's
you
cheapen
go.
it even more. Let's
TikTok's
do it.
TikTok's a funny animal, man. Like, I'll
Yeah.
post, I do artwork and stuff. I do like the 3D chalk stuff and stuff. I'll post something from my 3D chalk stuff that I think is pretty amazing, and I'll get like 6 views, 10 views on the high side or whatever. My wife will post like the dog like
Yeah.
chasing his tail. She's like, "Oh, look at this! It went viral. I have 1.2 million views. What the hell? It's a dog."
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't understand.
Luckily,
TikTok.
Danielle understands it just enough where
Yeah.
she's got some stuff on there. And I did the best amount of views I've had on there was exactly that, stupid videos of my dog. You know,
telling
got
you,
like a
man.
gazillion views of my dog talking.
So,
you know?
so I think the lesson here is post a picture of your dog or a video of your dog with the underlying music being like your band's original music.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
it. That's it. Yeah, yeah. We'll just put cats and octopi out there like we did all along, and it'll probably do great on TikTok, right? You know, just post cats. You know, I'll make my cat. You know, I don't know, dance to our songs with like his little arms or something.
Just as long as you don't sew cats and octopuses
No, I
together,
won't do
that's going to get rough.
We don't do that anymore.
Not anymore.
You got the letter.
That's why they were banned to that island.
Oh, man, who would write you that letter? Anyway.
PETA for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They're writing right now.
As
Sorry.
we speak.
They're like, wait, what's going on with cats and octopuses?
So, the lead singer of my old band, Sonic Boom 6, she did a bunch of those, like, PETA. Do you remember when, like, tons of bands were on it, you know, and they'd have little interviews? She did a ton of them. We were all hitting the veganness pretty hard for a while. But
thought you were gonna
How'd that
tell
work
us
out?
that
What's
Yeah.
the word now?
now I eat a lot of different types of food.
Cheesesteaks are good.
At first, I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm like, wait, you're saying it was sewing body parts on animals? What?
No, humans.
No, I
It's
got
okay.
it. I got
Peter's cool
it.
with that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Oh man, we're
Yeah,
getting flagged. All right, stop. No,
No
no,
animals.
PETA's great. Whatever y'all want to do.
Exactly. So, do you guys have a writing process?
You know, it can start with a lyric idea. It can start with a riff. You know, and then we bring it to the group and we build it together usually.
And
you
who's
know?
we, and how many of you are contributing in this situation?
Right now? Is we.
Right.
It is us.
Gotcha.
And we have Nikki Blackbeard, who currently has a terrible case of sea scurvy. He's out with sea scurvy right
Oh,
now. That's
poor-
why he's not with us today.
Poor fella.
Yeah.
So we have
Scurvs are the worst.
we have Becker the Beach Bum, a.k.a. Becker the Beachcomber, on drums for 561 Music Fest, as well as
Okay.
our second show back.
Got it.
With Jer, who's
Is
going to
there
be joining
such a
us
thing
on
as
the
that?
8th at O'Malley's.
Is there such a thing as land scurvy?
Lands, yeah, he has it. Whatever, yeah, he got it somehow.
Whatever it is, he's got it.
Oh, poor
He
fella.
put something where it wasn't supposed to be, I guess. I don't know.
So when you record, do you ever go over to Steve's studio and do stuff there?
Yeah, we actually demoed some stuff there yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Is it the kind of setup where you could do the whole recording over there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sick.
can. Yeah. Yes. I could separate. I mean, I have I can literally mic up every single drum, cymbal, amp, vocals, the whole 9 yards. I could do it at once. I could do it separately. Whatever anyone wants to do.
Yeah. Wicked.
Although I'm noticing that the new trend right now has been bands playing
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
And which is kind of crazy. I've also seen that. I don't know if you guys know how. Remember those old like cassette players that you can like the
Yeah,
8-tracks and
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
4
8.
tracks.
How many
Foss-
tracks you want?
Foss
Usually mine was
types.
4.
It was only 4. I've never seen 8. I've seen 6. I've never seen 8. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking
I had
about.
an
the old
8-track
Foss
mini
decks.
disc recorder.
You know how much those things are right now because people are buying them up. They're expensive. They're
man.
really expensive. So I know a kid who bought one, and you know they have that old school sound. You know
Yeah.
what it sounds like, and people are loving that sound right now.
Well, there's Billy Doom has a, you know that guy from that band, Billy Doom is Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a thing where he's doing releases on cassette. And
Yeah, I like
you
that.
know,
I
yeah.
like it. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I think
Pretty
it's cool.
The only downside of that is like they did the Long Live the Scene and on cassette release.
Yeah.
And I picked one up, and I don't have a cassette player, so
Yeah.
it's just literally sitting on my nightstand. And
And they're expensive right now,
and I
cassette
haven't
players.
heard- yeah.
Is that the one we're on, or did they not release that yet?
They already just released that one. I don't have that one yet.
Okay, yeah, I've got to get that one.
But I've kind of figured out a way to get it like that sound, but more in a digital way.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm like still working with it, but
You
I'm
know
kind
what I
of
did
like,
the other day is I played my I ran the like a mix of my drums through this old Ampeg Gemini 6, and then and just put like, you know, just turn the gain up just so it was kind of sounding a bit crackly, and then I just had it right in the background of the drums. Sounded pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, just a kind of another way to get the kind of noise and tube, you know,
That's
tube
cool.
sounds. But it was pretty cool. This thing has got such dusty old tubes that it sounds like a wheezing, coughing dog. It's great.
That's awesome.
So we're going to record it with a $3,000 mic into a giant Pro Tools console. Then we're going to run it through our Tascam 4-track, and then the bass amp.
Yeah, I know.
And then we're going to upscale it.
It's typical, isn't it? It's like we literally make things incredibly complicated so we can make them simple again.
Yeah.
Yes. That's human nature, I think.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's funny that you say that because honestly, some of the best recordings I ever heard were the most simplest, stupidest things.
Yeah.
Set up in the worst way, and then just legendary sounds.
Yeah, totally.
crazy.
We had Jay Wolf on here, and who is the guy who owns Wolf Guitars up in Jupiter. And he was in a ton of bands back in the day in New Orleans, and was on some quite important records. And he said that for the drums they'd just have one mic. They just that was it. That was the drums. It was just they just moved it around a bunch until they found a good spot, and then that was the drums.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's how they did it. That's why that kick is not present in a lot of those recordings. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Dick Dale loved Dick Dale. Awesome. He loved his sound like that. I'll never forget when he's like, first time I heard him, they're up there doing their sound check, and he just was like, I don't like that new school kick sound at all. At all. So I don't want to hear it. He's like, old school, keep it tucked. And I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah,
Well, we recorded our last album this past summer up at Sun Studios in Memphis, and and it's literally like it's like a one-room studio with the control booth or whatever off to the side. It's like a one-room studio, and they just set up these baffles in there and they slide them around however they need them to like quarter you off a little bit. But I mean, they're like mid-chest height or whatever, so you're not really blocking anything.
Also, we have a banjo in the band, and that cuts through any room. There's like you can't stand anywhere without getting a million decibels of banjo.
Yeah, but they basically had these like ginormous ribbon mics and stuff on these big boom arms and stuff, and I have to believe like that. I mean, these are the original mics that they used back in the day for Elvis and all these guys, Johnny Cash, all these guys. So I have to believe that's just how they did it. I mean, like, with the drums and stuff, like Ben's saying, like one mic, they would just put these giant ribbon mics in a certain spot, and they're like, there you go, that's it.
And it was key, right?
You know what, as well, we did end up slightly reverse engineering it because we went there looking for this kind of simple sound, but then when we got it back, we did add a couple of, not a ton of stuff, but we did make it how we wanted it to be. Of course. Because at the end of the day, that very simple sound, it wasn't quite what we were after. We did want it to have pack a bit of a punch,
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Get that sound and then add your flavor in it and make it yours, right?
Yeah, totally. It was a lot of fun, though. Just all of the memory, like all of the history in there was crazy.
Oh, it was crazy.
All the ghosts, it was badass.
So when you guys, you said you were doing some demos like yesterday, are you guys writing new stuff?
We were kind of getting our heads together on some of the other stuff as well too, just kind of refreshing, and we're still in that process. Getting less than 2 months back into this. We set some time, some constraints for ourselves, and we're like, all right, we got these shows booked. Now we got to figure it out. Yeah. So now we're working with Mike Becker, aka Becker the Beachcomber, aka Becker the Beach Bum. He's going to be playing drums on the first few shows, the next few months, while Nicky Blackbeard is dealing with his scurvy. So, so we're dealing with that. We're just kind of, getting through things, just kind of figuring out what it needs to be moving forward.
What have I got to do to get an Octo Gato moniker, like an Octo Gato name?
I got to play, hurdy-gurdy on one of our songs or something. You want to join us in the studio, that's it. Line that thing up.
That's piratey as all hell. That goes with all of this.
Absolutely.
We could do that. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Octo Gato hurdy-gurdy tune? Oh, my word. Yeah, the Muggles are going to have me on their record.
Oh, beautiful!
Cool.
Yeah, I love those guys. Another local Octo. They got the tentacles on either side of the stage.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and they have one of these on the mic stand too. Yeah. Do you think they ripped it off from you?
We have to talk about that one.
I know.
Theirs is bigger. I'm just saying.
Size does matter.
Size does matter, guys.
So how did you, over the years, how have you found, we've talked about the crowds and stuff like that, but how have you found the Florida scene in terms of other musicians, other bands? Do you find it to be like a supportive environment down here?
Absolutely, I think so. I mean, I think the rocket scene overall, I mean, everyone's there supporting most of the other bands. Of course, you're going to have some people that, are there for different reasons, but overall, I find it very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I'm feeling that, coming back at things with, fresh eyes. I see that more as well, too. And the outreach the outpouring, that I've seen just on to personal messages to me and everything, just about the band being back together. It's like, wow, they still care. They didn't forget about us.
I tell you,
we were shipwrecked and dead, man.
It does a lot of good. Like a good example of that is 6 months went by, No Name sort of semi-split up. Matt moved to Vegas. I mean, we're not split up, but, we don't live in the same city. So for practical purposes, we kind of are. But then they came back for Christmas and, a ton of people came out to see us. It does a band like that. The power of good, to take a little break every now and again.
Split up and have reunions and people come to your shows.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it doesn't.
The longer you hold out on them,
the
more people are going to show up.
I mean,
we'll have at least 12 people at the festival.
Killbillies is literally the opposite. We play like 4 times a week in like a 10-mile radius, so it's rough.
That was what we found, though. We were playing a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that we found the threshold on that.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna keep it for the right moments, the right shows.
Yeah.
Do what feels good.
And I think with a band like you guys, it totally makes sense to do that. I think it would be silly to do it any other way, unless you were on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the way to do it.
Which is not out of obviously tours.
Yeah.
Definitely at some point in the future. You know?
It's on the table.
I honestly want to, actually do a couple house parties. Dope ones. Getting big ass mansion and doing a dope ass house party with a few bands.
Be perfect for a mansion party.
I think it would be.
Hilarious.
All right, that's it. We're only exclusively doing mansion parties. You want us to rent a mansion? Hey.
I can totally see that. That's hilarious. Like Real Big Fish. You know what I mean? I could just
wait. Real Big Fish wants to play a mansion party with us.
Let's call Real Big Fish. Real Big Fish.
I could just see that kind of aesthetic, of like some film star hiring those guys. I could see the same kind of aesthetic with you guys,
Would love it.
Real Big Fish, baby.
Let's go.
That's it. Any band with seafood in your title, give us a call. We're ready to do mansion parties with you.
Who we got locally here? We got John Bon Jovi just moved here recently.
Really?
Over to the island.
Yeah.
He's over the island.
Nice.
We got Guy Fieri. We got.
That's right, Guy Fieri.
Lake
Worth,
right? Yeah, Lake
I haven't
Worth,
seen him
man.
around yet.
Yeah.
He came to one of our gigs and we were
seriously?
playing in downtown the Gardens and he showed up.
Oh, it's
We're rolling
badass.
out.
What's really funny is for like 30 minutes we kept whispering back and forth to each other. We kept looking out there like, is that Guy Fieri? Is that Guy Fieri? No, he just looks like. No, is that guy? I don't know. Is he just? We didn't know that he had moved here until after the gig, and then after the gig we were like,
damn it!
Somebody said he had
Guy.
moved here.
I
and we're
did say
like,
something on the mic though. I was like, "Hi, Guy." I just went for it, hoping. Yeah.
Did he have a shirt with flames?
I think it was the whole 9 yards.
Oh, the whole nine. Wow, you really got to go for it.
He's
Yeah,
in
the
it.
hair and everything.
It's like the Kentucky Fried Colonel Sanders. I almost called him Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fried
Kentucky Fried
I
Sanders.
wonder if he went out in his
in his
outfit.
big white suit.
Yeah.
That's how he dresses, man. He's just being himself out there.
Yeah, he had the whole thing going. Absolutely. The big shades and everything. It was
love it.
The perfectly trimmed goatee.
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole deal. It was great. So when it comes to playing your instrument, it's not a euphemism. Do you?
I love that you had to clarify that for these guys.
So when you play your instrument,
It's like the double fisting.
Do you still practice the guitar? Do you sit at home and practice?
these days, yeah, because I hadn't been playing for so long, so I had to
Oh,
knock the
yeah.
cobwebs off, man.
He does now.
Yeah. So, and when you practice, are you playing the Octo Gato songs, or are you like kind of branching out? Are you doing like kind of traditional practice where you're doing the scales and arpeggios?
No,
and
I
all
never
that
do
stuff?
scales.
Gotcha.
Mostly our music, but I love playing like classic surf rock, like the Trashmen or something like that.
Yeah,
you
cool.
know, loosen up the dexterity there, and then play power chords for Octo Gato.
Hell yeah. Yeah. What about you, man? You practicing these days?
Yeah. Actually, I play pretty often.
Wicked.
Yeah, I'm not practicing scales and sitting there like doing stuff like that, but I mean, I'm playing whether it's octo or just playing in general. Yes.
Yeah,
I like to
nice.
play. I like to stay active.
And when you write, how do you write? Do you write on a bass or a guitar?
It depends on what I'm writing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, actually, believe it or not, I use a program.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes.
I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
even if I'm not writing like hip hop or writing anything like that. Sometimes I use the program. It's just to create sounds and like get an idea
I
But,
do it. I put like verse and chorus together, and then I just run it in a loop and try and figure out words. I do that all the time.
I'll play it on the bass, and I won't like play bass lines or write bass riffs. I'll play it more of a guitar if I'm writing something like that in a guitar way, and then build on that.
Yeah. No, it's a great way of doing it. So, is there any kind of like lyrical theme with Octo Gato? I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm curious.
Well, there's an octopus, and there's a cat. Is that the one there? You see, all the songs are about octopuses and cats. No, octopi. That's it. No, I mean,
it isn't octopi.
Octopi.
It isn't. It's not. I found out because I was listening to a podcast about octopuses.
Yeah.
And it is not octopi because octopus is
There's
not
only a few options here.
It's not a Latin word; it's a Greek word. So yeah, I think I can't. It's like octopedes or something.
Octopedes.
Yeah. But it's not.
That's the next song title.
And everyone thinks it's octopi, but it isn't.
Octopedes.
Anyway, that's a boring.
Well, now I need to know that. That's probably information I need, right? No, I mean, it's a lot of it's cheeky. It's all metaphor. It's all innuendo.
Yeah.
Wrapped in a sandwich of cheeky surf rock sounds.
Yeah, sick. So to get maybe a little bit more serious now, do you have you found that sort of drinking and or the other things like that have ever been a issue with playing gigs, and is there any kind of like situation in place to sort of navigate those waters with Octo Gato? You just go for it.
How do we navigate those waters, Steve? Those murky waters. I personally don't usually drink until I'm done playing.
Right, gotcha.
That's the solution for me. Is just don't drink until you're done. Then you party if you want. But these days, I really don't drink at all. And
Right.
drugs. And
Yeah.
I've seen too many friends, toss their lives down the drain with that. Lost a few close friends to drugs and alcohol. So I just,
Starts to lose its shine after a while when you get to a certain age.
it sure
I
does.
think.
Yeah, exactly. It's just for me, it's just sort of, I'll have a couple beers or something at the end of the gig. Maybe not even that. Honestly.
Yeah.
Red Bull, like I had right before I got here to get amped up.
Right.
Yeah.
I had an Afro Gato before I got here, which was coffee.
Oh, okay. I had a gin tonic. Is that alcohol?
Oh, no,
That's not alcohol, is it?
No, Afro Gato is coffee and
affogato.
Yeah, affogato.
That's our Italian counterparts. Affogato.
No,
Octo Gato
Italy.
needs a beverage of some kind.
No
It
drugs.
does.
Yeah,
It's-
Octo latte.
Yeah.
Affogato.
This would be a good
Octo Gato
this would
before
be
I
a great
got here.
brewery logo, right?
Yeah.
I know. That's
Don't
what I'm
give
saying.
breweries around here that
No, you guys wanna
idea.
collab?
They can't take it. They
You wanna
can't
collab
take it
on a
without
beer?
paying you a lot of money.
Let's collab on a beer, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Matthews Brewing. I know you're
We
watching.
collab
Oh,
on beer.
isn't it, though?
It comes in 8 flavors.
Or invasive. We like sours.
Oh, invasive species. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Matthews though, because they're
Yeah, I'm
hosting
just
our
saying.
beautiful-
Anybody
Yeah.
who wants
beautiful
to
event.
we are collabing on beers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good old Matthews, though. Yeah, they're having us on this event, and it's fantastic. And
Yeah.
really looking forward to playing there. The sound system in there is super sick, and we're setting up a second stage too, and it's just going to be bouncing between the two stages. It's going to be dope.
I'm excited about that.
Super stoked.
Yeah, man. So let's get into like some of the music that you've produced over the years. What's available? So there's 2 EPs and a full length,
Yep.
right, out there, and then a single or 2 singles.
Yeah, a couple singles out there as well too. yeah.
Okay, cool. And when did you start recording all this stuff? Right away, like 2014?
Yeah, 2014. We did a demo. I believe it was it 3 or 5 songs for the first one? I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
All that time stranded on an island, makes you loopy, right? So yeah, a 3-song and a 5-song, and then some of those songs ended up on the full-length LP, which is the Super Puss LP.
Yeah,
And the
cool.
ones we didn't like, you'll never hear about them again because they're not available anywhere.
Gotcha,
Let's
gotcha.
get rid of those.
Is there, if you were to point someone towards something as what you consider to be very representative of the band, is there anything out there that you really like?
Our music?
Yeah.
I mean, Super Puss LP. I mean,
Yeah.
the title track is Super Puss, so I mean, I'd probably go for that one. It's all about it's about a superhero lifeguard cat fighting the evil Dr. Cocto Blocto.
Yeah.
And at the end, when we have like a solo battle, it's like the battle of Super Puss versus Dr. Cocto Blocto.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So that's it's cheeky, but it's there's whatever, it has all those elements in there. I think. Yeah.
You guys need to play with Aquabats.
We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah. Wouldn't that just be perfect?
That'd be great. I love it.
So with
We're working on
Sonic
that.
Boom 6, my previous band before I moved to the US, toured with them a couple of times. We had such a good time. Oh my God, like they do all these kind of stage things, you know. Like I got to dress up as a monster a couple of times, and he beat the shit out of it. I'm not even kidding. He wasn't just play acting. The guy like went in, you know. Like,
I'm gonna take notes on that.
yeah.
Anybody we have on stage, I'm gonna beat you up. No, seriously, join us.
I was super surprised, you know. He took it super seriously. I was like, oh, and then he's gonna like lightly push me, and I thought, but nope. It was pretty hilarious, actually. I loved it. Those guys are amazing. All right, talking of your music and all that kind of stuff, why don't we listen to something you've done?
Sure.
Cool.
Tokyo, sir, little kitty, that's how we do it in the city. Who knows which way we'll ride? Okinawa, sir, think about the line. Tokyo, sir, rising sun, everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo, sir, we're here to stay. Oh, we got the ball to begin. Tokyo, sir, rising sun, everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo, sir, we're here to stay. Tokyo squad will never stray. In the winter, I hit the surf, grab my board, feel like a smurf. So cold that my eyes won't blink. Something good in the night and kind of sneaky. Tokyo surf, rising sun, everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo surf, we're here to stay. Oh, we got the ball to begin. Tokyo surf, rising sun, everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo surf, we're here to stay. Tokyo squad will never stray. Everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo surf, we're here to stay. Oh, we got the ball to begin. Tokyo surf, rising sun. Everybody dancing with the king of fun. Tokyo surf, we're here to stay. Tokyo squad will never stray.
This episode and our festival are sponsored by Pure Honey magazine, and it is a staple down here. It's been just such a resource for South Florida music scene. Why don't you tell us a little bit about them, Ollie?
Yes, back in 2011, they went old school with the physical zine that provides both a service to the South Florida scene and a vehicle for businesses to get their messages out to a growing segment of readers who continue to embrace and admire a retro product.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know if you've ever read Pure Honey magazine. I'm sure you have. They're all over the place, and
Absolutely.
They're really great.
Yeah. Pure Honey has been around for quite a while now, and it is an absolute resource for musicians, for music, for shows. They have an amazing online calendar. They have an amazing calendar in the physical magazine. It's just been a huge resource for shows and musicians, and we are very, very fortunate. They reached out to us when they saw we were doing our festival for the second time this year, and they reached out to us and immediately said, we want to sponsor. How do we get involved? So having someone like Pure Honey involved in 561 Muisc Festival is absolutely gold to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes us feel official. So thank you, Pure Honey. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, and big props to Pure Honey for stepping up and sponsoring us. This episode and the festival are also sponsored by Backsaver Chiropractic Care and Therapy. These guys are absolutely amazing. Dr. Christopher White over there, great chiropractor, amazing just individual, amazing person, huge supporter of the arts and the local music scene. They were one of the very few sponsors, one of the only almost sponsors that we had for the first festival. When we had the first festival, Dr. Chris White stepped up to the plate and said, "How do I get involved? I'm going to do this. Let's do this." And was one of the purchased one of the top tier sponsorships that we had for the festival last year.
So kind. We couldn't have done it without it. It really saved us. So we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And this year, when we announced the festival, I don't think I had even finished the announcement that the festival was going to happen, and he was reaching out again. How do I get involved? Let's do this again. And once again, they are our top tier sponsor. So, thank you very much to Chris and his whole team over there. If you guys are involved in an auto accident or any personal injury issues, you have back issues, anything like that, go see Dr. Chris White. He's absolutely amazing, and Backsaver, those guys are all amazing over there. They do the massage therapy, they do the adjustments on your back, anything like that. So definitely go check them out and tell them we sent you, and tell them thank you for being huge sponsors of local music.
Yeah, excellent chiropractors and also patrons of the arts. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
561 Music is sponsored by Handlebars Bar and Grill. We have been sponsored by Handlebars for a long time now. They've been incredibly supportive of the podcast. There's been a lot of changes up there. Now the food is supplied by world-famous McRae's Backyard Barbecue. That's 1977. McRae's Barbecue is fantastic food. The first one I went to was down Riviera Beach, and it is really some killer barbecue. So if you're looking for delicious food, somewhere to ride your bike out on a Saturday or Sunday, and delicious beers, then Handlebars has got it all for you. We're so happy to have McRae's involved with the whole thing because they're really up the game in terms of the food. There is a bike night every second Thursday of the month, and Handlebars is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come check out Handlebars in Tequesta, just off US 1. Hope to see you there. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Carver Bar is in Seagrape Square on Indian Town Road, and it is a carver bar. If you don't know anything about carver, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where that brings people together. You all take a shell of carver and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a carver bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of carver bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Carver Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band. And his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks. So, seeing as we were just listening to an ad about Live Music Community, do you have any advice for aspiring musicians?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Always play music that you love, because if you love playing it, it won't feel like practice. Find songs and bands that you want to play. Don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it and do it because you love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great advice. What about you, Steve? You got any pearls
Have
of
your
wisdom?
parents buy the most expensive instrument and bring it to me. I'm joking. Honestly, yeah, play. We need more people. We need more kids to play.
Yeah.
If they stop playing, that means live music starts slowing down, and then we're back in the same position we were in just a few years ago, where it was just
So many DJs.
damn DJs. No, yeah, keep playing. Don't stop.
I
Get
heard
with your
there's this
friends,
guy
play with
that
them.
you know that sometimes likes to spin.
He does.
Yeah, I mean that's great advice, and that's what we try and do over here at Live Music Community is boost the youth. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So what was the piece of music we just listened to, and can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. That was Tokyo Surf. And so I lived in Tokyo for a while. I love Japan. I go back every year, every other year, except for the last 4 years on account of the pandemic. But
Yeah.
that was kind of like the tour montage from when we all went out there.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, so Killbilly, I texted you the other day saying that, Killbillies would love to get out there. What's the, how does one go about that? I've been before with another band, but I had a manager, so I wasn't involved in any of that
Right,
stuff.
yeah. Get a manager. That's it. Tour 101, get a manager. So, I mean, I had a little bit of a personal network out there, but, I mean, these days, you can reach out to similar bands that would probably love to play with you out there and make a personal connection. We have the internet at our disposal. They still like Twitter out there, which is crazy, but they do. And reach out. Find some kind of a link to somebody out there.
Right.
I think that's my suggestion. Make a personal bond. We're music enthusiasts here, but I always found that there's maybe a deeper appreciation for music. Every time I play a show out there, people are just watching, just like, man. Soaking it all in, and then just full on applause, and then just back to soaking it in, and kind of more cerebral.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help with touring, though, does it?
Well, some of the most professional bands I've ever seen were over there,
Yes.
and some of the most fun crowds too. And I had a blast. I was only in Tokyo and mainly in Shibuya, but I just had that
You went
riot.
to Shibuya, yeah. Lots going on out there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's different playing shows out there, though. Sound check is at 1 in the afternoon, and you might not play till 9.
Yeah.
So there's and they do all the sound checks. They do everybody, even if it's a small local show. There's
Yeah.
a real attention to detail. They'll get like a stage plot. They'll mark stuff on the ground for each band. Even if it's like local bands, they'll be out there with gaff tape. Like that's that band. That's where they're gonna have the amp, and that's where we're gonna have the mic for that band.
Yeah.
And even if it's a 50 cap club, there's somebody out there running the lights.
How about their
That's
gear?
caring about it.
Just the gear
And the
can
gear,
use. Best gear.
You can show up with your guitar and your pedal board, and there's like a pair of Fender Twins or like a Marshall JCM 800 that you can use
Yeah, I
at
was
the
going to
venue.
ask you about that,
Yeah.
about bringing all the gear and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
like in our case, whenever we talk about touring, we always talk about touring as more of a like what we did this summer. We get in the car and we drive,
It's about transporting gear from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah,
right?
and it's kind of a big deal for us because I have that ginormous upright bass, and so I always panic when we start talking about anything that it's going to involve flying. I'm
it doesn't
like,
fit in the overhead bin, does it?
Crap.
You're checking that thing, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we'd have to hire one.
I don't know.
Back
Maybe
line,
rent one over there or something.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who play the upright over in Japan. And you know what? I've heard some incredible Japanese bluegrass, actually. Some really good stuff. It all goes on. So, yeah, there you go. We just got to make some connections, huh?
Make some connections and... man, there's so much to share about it. Be on time, everyone. If you're late there, if you're on time, you're late in Japan. I'll say that. So if they want you there at the venue at 1 o'clock and you're not sure where you're going, be there at noon.
Okay, yeah.
If they tell you you're playing at 8 o'clock, be there at 7:50, ready to go. Stuff like that. I love that.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm into like timeliness as well, which is quite ironic because my wife is like the exact opposite.
You help get her there in time, right?
Balance. The amount of planes we've missed, you would not believe.
Oh.
Yeah. It would drive you mad. It'd give you a heart attack, I think.
That's funny because that's my wife and I. Like, if I need to be somewhere at like 5, I have to tell her we need to be there at like 3:30 or 4 because otherwise we won't get there on time.
I know a few people like that.
I tell you what, though, that's really the only downside to my wife. She's a wonderful woman. Not trying to say horrible things about.
I have a few I can list about my. No, I'm just kidding.
My wife is always on time and amazing and perfect.
Hey,
there you go.
That's how you do it.
Well done, sir. Well done.
That's how you do it. So we got some pictures of gear. Could we take a look at some of these pictures, Justin? So what are we looking at here?
Oh, yeah. We just took that one the other day. After I got off the island, I decided, it's time to buy a proper Gretsch White Falcon. So I bought that is the Billy Duffy signature Gretsch White Falcon right there.
Wow.
So it's based on a 70s Baldwin-era Gretsch, but it's got a hotter bridge pickup and neck pickup as well. And it's got the little 3-way tone toggle switch instead of a tone knob on it.
Are they Gretsch pickups?
They are Gretsch pickups, but they make them specifically for that guitar.
Interesting.
So it's like a Gretsch Filtertron with all that chime.
Yeah.
But the bridge pickup, you see, it looks a little different. It has is a bit more output.
Oh, sick.
Because he's more, it's Billy Duffy's from the Cult, so it's a bit more, a bit more gain heavy band.
Yeah, that's cool. The manager of Sonic Boom 6. His brother was toured with the Cult for many years.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They're a powerhouse.
Love those
absolutely.
guys.
And what else we have there? We have a Boss. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah. Can we go back to the previous one?
Yeah, I want to share one more thing. We got speaking of Japan, we have my custom Captain Octo Vero City effects pedal over there, and that's my custom dual overdrive made by a Japanese company out there. It's owned by my friend Hiroshi Omoto and his partners.
So cool.
And that's the secret sauce right there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, nice. What else have you got up there, pedal-wise, other than the tuner?
We have the tuner, we have the dual overdrive, and then we have a TC Helicon mic mechanic for the slapback delay stuff.
Oh, that's what you
gotta
use?
have slapback,
I just got a Electro-Harmonic slapback, and it's pretty decent. Yeah. I'd be really curious to see what that one's like, though, because I love a bit of slap.
Yeah, I love that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the sound.
Let's do it. What have we got going on here?
Okay, well, we have the Gretsch bass.
Nice.
With TV Joan pickups, actually. They don't even make it with those pickups anymore. That stopped a few years ago.
What makes you choose, other than the awesome, just aesthetic wonderfulness of you guys both having Gretches?
The hollow bodies?
Yeah, is there anything, is there a reason why you use them?
Yeah. Well, first, I've noticed that, and I've played, and even in the beginning, I didn't have a hollow body, that the sound, really the feedback you get from these hollow bodies, it's really difficult in the beginning to kind of tame that beast.
Yeah.
But once you learn how to control that feedback with playing, the style of music, it just kind of creates a super edgy, punky sound. It changes the dynamic of the band a little bit.
Sure.
To me, a hollow body, it feels alive. You
Yeah.
know, when I played it, like I had before I had the Gretsch. Even in the beginning, I had a Fender Jaguar. I had a Jazzmaster.
Yeah.
Went through a lot of those. Then all of a sudden, I just happened to come across the Gretsch hollow body, and I played the songs like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
It's the twang, but it's the fullness.
Yeah.
And when I play it and when I feel it on my body, I feel every single note.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
And there is a certain boxy fullness to a hollow body that I do love. I have a Heritage that's like a kind of a 335
I love
kind
Heritage
of
guitars.
tone type thing.
You can
And
get those
yeah.
at Wolf Guitars, I think.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Yeah, that's where I got mine.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then what have we got pedal-wise going on there?
So I have the Vero City. Guy over in Japan made that Vero City. It's the F2B custom blend pedal, which part of the pedal is a SB12, which is an Ampeg amp. It's kind of like a vintage sound with
Nice.
an overdrive
Okay. Sick.
sound. And obviously, Sans amp is just to have on there. I feel like it's just the industry standard.
Yeah,
Everybody
for
needs
sure.
to have one regardless.
Yeah.
I got my tuner and my vocal pedal.
What are you going through? Like, what amps are you guys using? Are you going straight
Fenders.
to Fenders? Gotcha.
Fenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, two. Actually, we play with 2 amps each. So we have kind of like a
Okay.
different sound going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you set them differently, or is it just for a kind of stereo
No.
fatness?
What do you mean, like our settings?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're set differently.
Oh,
On my
interesting.
bass, they're totally set differently.
I've got like one dirty one and then one cleaner one with a bit more bottom end.
Very
Mine are
interesting.
just about the same. Maybe one's a little drier. I have like reverb, like full tilt on the one in front of me, and then a drier one, on the other side as well,
Oh,
too,
that's
just to
cool.
fill things out.
I have had in the past the luxury of having 2 amps on a couple of gigs, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. So yeah, I also noticed that you had white mic stands in the corner
yeah.
there. What's that about?
Oh, I mean, we all the white out aesthetic, got the wheel here, This is going on the new mic stand as well too. But we have it here.
I can't wait to see you guys when you play at the 561 Fest and see how you present. It's going to
be
great.
spinning.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
Didn't you say that there's someone's building a contraption to have it spin?
Yes. My good buddy Jonathan Eastwood is going to be making me. He made this setup for me before, where I can actually adjust the speed of the wheel spinning around.
Oh, he made the one before too.
He did.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Gotcha.
perished when we were shipwrecked, but this is the V3. We're gonna get another one in there. Yeah. The first one I made myself, and it wasn't very good. It just, I'm not mechanically inclined.
I feel you, man. Some people that just have that gift, and it's not me either.
Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, I stumble through that stuff at best. Should see some of the jobs I've made of trying to install pickups on things.
I've tried to. You guys, you like doing that, right? You do that.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's next then for Octo Gato? Obviously, you're playing 561 Fest. What
Yes.
else is going on?
Well, definitely working on an EP, and we're going to try and do a video for each song. That's the plan. And we really want to, play the right shows with the right bands and, the right audiences so that we kind of continue where we left off before.
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any new music that's going to be coming out for 561, or are you going to be?
I don't think we're going to have time to get anything out for 5. We got a new cover in there, though. We got a new cover in there.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I'll take it.
do have a new cover in there,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
Yeah, it's coming right out.
Oh, sick.
Top
All right,
secret,
we're just
though.
gonna have to wait and
We'll
see.
release it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Is it going to be Ben by Michael Jackson?
How'd you know?
Need look no more. No.
That's the one.
So, all right then. I guess at this point in time, it is time to talk a little bit about the festival.
What festival? You want to talk about Sunfest? That's so weird. Yeah, man. So 561 Music Fest, 561 Music Festival. It is happening April 1st at Matthews Brewery. Matthews Brewing Company, I guess is the official name. And it will be happening from 12 noon until 11 p.m. 20 bands, $10, or $25 get you a ticket and a T-shirt. So
This is like
that's
the
a deal.
opposite of what we did on Friday. It's like 20 bands instead of 1 for the same amount of time.
Right. Yeah, no, this is 20 bands, $10. April 1st at Matthews Brewing. They're all 561 music bands that have been on the podcast in the past. It's going to be pretty amazing. This year we've got the 561 Music living room or lounge, whatever we want to call it. I think living room we were calling it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have bands stop in throughout the day, spend 5 minutes with us, just talk about the festival. What they thought about it, what they think about it, what if they've played yet, if they haven't played yet, all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna put all that together and we're gonna release that right after the festival, and that is going to be our 100th episode of this podcast.
Yeah,
So we are
man.
celebrating 100
Congrats.
years. If there's not cake at this festival, I'm done. I quit. There better be. It's 100 episodes, man. There better be a freaking cake
Oh,
there.
I better
okay?
bring a cake then. Okay, now I have
That's
one
your job. You have one job. Bring a cake. But no, this is just. I mean, we couldn't be any happier with this festival. Last year, the turnout was absolutely amazing. We had a couple of sponsors. This year, we have 7 or 8 sponsors now. And so we were able to invest a bunch of that back into the festival and do a bunch of advertising. We've got flyers with a street team passing them out. We've got posters. We've got social media ad campaigns, paid ad campaigns. We've got billboards, digital billboards along 95 near in the Lake Worth area.
Yeah. That's just like ticked a box for me in terms of like bucket list stuff.
I thought it
Get
was
a
fun,
billboard.
man.
Always
And-
wanted to do that.
Well,
I
and
felt
then,
cool just seeing it. I was like, whoa.
well, and
Yeah,
then
up in
this,
lights.
as of this week, officially, we are now on the radio. We were on a couple of stations, but I think now we've narrowed it down. Starting tomorrow, we're going to have radio ads from 3 to 7 p.m. airing on the Gator through Festival Day. So, at this point, there's not much else we could do except hope people show up.
Exactly.
So
And do like sun dances to water.
yeah, no, and you know what? It was good last year. I think we had a fair amount of tickets that sold prior to the show. We had a ton of tickets that sold like day before and day of, and then a ton of tickets, of course, at the door. Tickets are available at the door. They're no more expensive at the door than they are pre-sale. The advantage you have of pre-sale is the combo ticket. You can get you can either get your ticket at $10 or you can do a $25 ticket, which gets you a ticket and a T-shirt. Whereas at the door, it's $10 to get in and then $25 for the shirt. So you're saving a few bucks on, you're saving $10 and you're getting a commemorative shirt. I know last year.
It also helps us not have a heart attack because we can see some
Right,
people
because we can
coming.
see some numbers and stuff. Yeah. Which they are moving. Like we're ahead of where we were last year, 2 weeks out. So we're in pretty good shape right now. We're pretty happy with that. I mean, we're going to have the T-shirts available for sale at the show if you don't pick up your combo ticket. We're going to have – there's a small limited amount. And when I say small limited amount, it's
Peanuts.
it's not a lot, and they're limited sizes of what I have left.
It's okay. That's what small means.
Of last year. Yeah, small and limited. All of the same. All the same. I just want to really drive that home.
Gotcha.
And my wife always says a small and never mind. We just have a small quantity of the 561 shirts left over from last year. Probably sell those. I don't know what we'll sell them for. $10 or something, but if we happen to have your size, you get there early. If you want one from last year and you didn't get one, if we happen to have your size, then fantastic. So get there early and get there early just because there's 20 bands. Don't show up at 8 o'clock at night and then be bummed that you missed 18 bands. Like that's just not how it works.
Absolutely, and they're all good. There was no order that the bands went in.
No.
We put the bands on there mainly down to when everyone could do.
Yeah, I mean the fact remains that we went through, we picked these 20 bands. We sat down, we reached out to everybody. We said, do you have any schedule constraints? Do you have any other gigs you're playing that day that you have to play early, you have to play late? And we kind of built the schedule around that. So, I mean, quite honestly, there's people that are in the first and second slot. They're like, as far as I'm concerned, every bit as good and amazing as the people that are playing the last slots.
Yeah.
So don't think like I'm just going to show up towards the end and listen to the last few bands because they're the headliners or whatever. There's no headliner in this. Like all bands are equal across the board. There's no specific headliner
except for, of course, Octo Gato.
Octo Gato is kind
Fiesta
of
Resistance.
our quasi headliner because they're back. They're back from the
Exactly.
island.
Back,
They've
baby.
been rescued,
We'll be quasi.
right?
I'll take it.
But honestly, I mean, this year I looked at the lineup. It's stacked, man. There's not a band on there that I'm like, oh, okay. Like they're all good bands.
Yeah, man.
They're all good bands. So 561 Muisc Fest or 561musicfestival.com. Either one gets you to the ticket links. If you want to get your ticket ahead of time, and that would be fantastic because, again, like you said, it'll keep us from having a heart attack. The tickets, are selling. So you can go there. You can get your tickets. You can get your tickets and your shirt combos. There's also links on there if you still want to jump in on some sponsorship levels. There are still some sponsorship levels available. More than happy to have you guys jump on board with that. If you have a business you want to push and stuff, there's some sponsorship levels on there. Click on the ticket link, and then the drop-down menu, you'll have options for sponsorship as well as the tickets. And if you go to 561music.com, that's our normal website. There are links there for all of this. There's links for the festival. There's links for listening to the podcast, for past episodes, regular episodes. There's links to every single guest that has been on the episode and a bio page on that guest.
Yeah.
There's links on you and me on there. There's links for Killbillies. There's links for submitting if you have a band or something, or you're a solo artist and you want to submit to try to be on the podcast. Be forewarned that we have been getting more and more popular, which I love, and this is absolutely amazing. But we currently have a waiting list. Only because, and the rating list is because I just don't want to book somebody so far out that it's just going to, be a conflict of schedule when the date shows up.
Right.
But right now, we're booked all the way through June with shows every week. So, so if you want to submit your band, there's a submission button on there. There's a donation button if you want to donate to the cause. Pretty much every penny of this just goes right back into the podcast to do this. We do this. It's a labor of love. We do it because we want to keep this music scene growing. And as we said earlier in the podcast, the music scene here lately has been booming. And that's what this podcast is all about, is just continuing to help grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Help that
just
grow.
trying to, chip in and do what we can to help it out.
For sure. And then there's also a link on there now for volunteering. We do have a handful of volunteers for the festival, but we do need a few more people. So if anybody wants to get into the festival for free and get a volunteer shirt, the volunteer shirt is the exact same shirt as the regular festival shirt. It just says volunteer across the back. Yeah. So it's the same shirt. It's the same shirt, so you get a free shirt and you get a free ticket to get in. You only got to give us 2 hours of your time while you're there, and the rest of the time you're free to do whatever you want.
And you get to virtue signal around the place with your volunteer show.
Yeah, there you go. So so if anybody wants to volunteer, we could use a handful of more volunteers. We need some people to do parking lot and stuff like that. I think we got tickets covered at this point. Potentially, I think security we've got covered and stuff. Yeah. So I think at this point we just need a few more parking lot duty people, and it's not all day. It's if you can give us a couple of hours.
What are parking lot duty people?
Basically, Matthews Brewing is in a business district, but he is surrounded by a ton of warehouses and businesses, auto places, auto mechanic places, things like that.
I like the way you ignored that I just made a duty joke.
I know. I totally glossed over that because we're not 5 years old on this show. Not right now anyways. Usually we are, but no. But we, so people will be basically trying to stop people from parking in front of other people's businesses' driveways. Yeah. And that's only until 4 or 5 o'clock. The rest of the night it doesn't matter because those businesses are closed.
I thought they were duty in the parking lot.
Right?
Exactly.
Parking lot duties.
There is. It's there.
Yes.
Watch yourself.
I do apologize for that terrible joke.
Doodling in the parking. Doodling.
It's Lake Worth. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen. Anything. And if anybody listening to the show right now wants to has a business and wants to put a poster up in their window or something, please reach out. Please reach out to us. Call the hotline. Reach out to us and let us know that you want some posters. I will be happy to drop them off. I've got posters. I got flyers. I got palm cards. All sorts of stuff I can drop off. So
wicked.
Yeah. Anybody wants to help us get the word out?
I got to grab a couple up here. Got some other spots.
Yeah. Anybody wants to help us get the word out? Please, by all means, let us know, and I will get those to you.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah. You did a great job on all of the promotional stuff, man. It looks sick.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We've got all the advertising that's going on, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I feel legit. Oh, we have. Oh, I forgot to say. I think I mentioned it to you earlier, but I'd like to tell our listeners that we have ads in Pure Honey magazine. We have an article coming out in Pure Honey magazine, which is a 561 Music preview article talking about the bands and how this all got started and how it's going and stuff. And I believe I'm doing another interview tomorrow for another local magazine.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it's cool, man. Like it's happening. Like it's becoming a real thing. It's not just us anymore. So it's becoming a real thing.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you both for having us.
We really
Yes,
appreciate it.
guys.
Looking forward to the
Appreciate it.
fest. Looking forward to everything that's in the future for us.
Absolutely.
man.
Happy to be back.
Pleasure.
Thank you guys.
Woo!
Appreciate it.
Octo Gato back.
Let's get it.
Back.